The hint is sea turtles, mate. Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And welcome to episode 56 of Coffee and Toys, guys, here on the CoolFigurez channel. As always, we will talk this week's Coffee and Toys Live, future guests for Coffee and Toys Live, this week's toy haul, and of course, this week's toy news, and so much more. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button? And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. If you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. With all of that out of the way, guys, once again, welcome to episode 56 of Coffee and Toys, guys. And I told you I'd give you that hint, and well, only one person actually got it, and so congratulations to them for getting it right. But yes, it is a 1/6 scale Hot Toys Captain Jack Sparrow. We will definitely get into this guy, and of course the new Super 7 Ultimate Turtles when we get into Toy Haul. But right now, let's go ahead and start with Coffee and Toys Live, because this past week did see the return of Coffee and Toys Live. I know originally I was only going to take the 2 weeks off that I was away on vacation. However, the week I got back, my guests had to cancel, and it was so last minute I didn't even have time to ask like Rocco the Great to come on. And so the second week, my guests also had to cancel. Had to do some family stuff, no worries there. But then I did ask Rocco, and he himself had some family stuff to do. So that's 2 guests that I couldn't secure for that date. So I decided to go ahead and just push it 1 more week. And so this past week, we did finally see the return of Coffee and Toys Live. And what better way to bring it back than with fan favorite Rocco the Great? And I say fan favorite because whenever he's in my live stream, I have the most viewers. That's the time when I get into the 20s and 30s on a live stream, which to me is a lot of viewers, because normally I'm kind of in between like maybe 10 or 15 at the most, depending on the guest, depending on how well known the guest is, and if they posted to their story that they were going to be on live and whatnot. I think Jason B. Michael is another one that I get a lot of high viewers for because he's such a great toy photographer. I believe when I had 1/6 Shooter as well and Sergeant Bananas, I had a decent amount of people in. But Rocco the Great, he's been on, I believe 3 or 4 times at this point. I've lost track. That's how many times he's actually been on the show. But like clockwork, whenever he's on, high viewership. So I do appreciate him coming on, especially since he was in the middle of dropping a new product for his own toy line that very day. So as soon as he was done on my live stream, he went, took a little nap, and started his own live stream and promptly sold out of his drop that day. So congratulations to him for not only starting his own toy line, but also consistently selling out within minutes. And I'm talking about under a minute at times, guys. So if you don't know what it is, definitely check out Rocco the Great and his System Island toys. There's Goose Faba, there's Fat Cat Joe, there's the little sculpt bots, that's what he calls them. He has some great accessories, some sculpt crates, some sculpt blasters. If you want to know what all that great stuff is, head on over to Rocco the Great's page and his YouTube channel, and you can find out so much more about his toy lines. And watch his live streams, because that's when he tends to drop his stuff, and it's in very, very limited numbers. So if you want to be sure to secure one of his new figures, which he will be dropping a new one this coming Friday, be sure to follow him over on Instagram and subscribe to him here on YouTube for all the latest updates. So shout out and thank you to him once again for joining me this past week on the return of Coffee and Toys Live. What better way to start off the show again? Next week, however, I will be speaking with Diorama Prints. They are a small business that makes up like kind of background panels and stuff for your figures. So I'm really excited to talk to them, because anytime a company that's out there that's willing to supply diorama stuff for the background that I don't have to build myself personally or come up with myself personally, I absolutely love. So I'm very much looking forward to speaking with them. I believe they are shipping out their latest waves as of now, and are currently teasing their next wave, wave 6. So I'm hoping to be able to get some sneak peeks at some of that. when they do come on the show. After diorama prints, we do have a few more guests lined up. I'm currently in the talks with Victoria's Cantina to be having her on, I believe, the following week. I didn't even put a date here, but I put it on my notebook. But she should be coming on the following Wednesday. And then big news, big announcement. After that show, I will be changing the day I host the live stream. So I'm changing my schedule. I'm kind of more aligning it with my training partner so that way I can get more time with him in the gym and really push it so I can hit my goal of hitting 200 pounds of good 100 pounds and not just a bunch of fatty 100 pounds by the end of this year. So that's going to entitle me, taking it a little more serious, meeting up with him a little bit more because he's able to spot me, able to help me go a little heavier. And it's going to push me and motivate me to stay on top of my meals even more so. So after her, I will be pushing the day of the show to Thursdays. That will be my new rest day because that's when my training partner takes his rest day. And so that's how I'm going to be doing the show. I'll be pushing to Thursday, the second week of November. And that first episode on a Thursday will be with Mad Hatter. So super excited to talk to him. I have a lot to talk to him about. And so upcoming other guests that I am in talks with. So nothing's confirmed yet, but I have spoken to them and hopefully can get him on the show soon. Kiko Collects. He is a 1/6 scale YouTuber on YouTube. Obviously, he's a YouTuber. He's obviously on YouTube and on Instagram as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to talking to him. I will also be speaking with Queen G22, a TMNT super fan. I have to email her about dates and times, so once everything's for sure and set in stone, I'll go ahead and let you guys know when she will be coming on. After her, we will be having Soka Fett, a cosplayer and toy collector. Super excited to talk to her. And two other guests that are kind of in limbo, don't really have any kind of yes or no or secureness of them, is Toy Goddess, another cosplayer, as well as Valiverse. So yeah, but I have one other one that said yes. I just need to secure more. I just need to give them dates that are available. Is Menina is another cosplayer, and I cannot pronounce her name for the life of me. So I'm gonna have to get that down before the interview. But just know she's coming up as well. So we should be actually clear up until the end of the year. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We are actually just short one guest because believe it or not, guys, there are only 10 weeks left in the year. Can you fucking believe it? There are only 10 weeks left in 2022, guys. Let that sink in just for a moment. So if you've been putting off something, guys, I highly recommend you guys buckling down, getting it done, especially if it was your goal to accomplish it or meet it before the end of 2022. That's definitely what I'm doing, especially with what I said about hitting 200 pounds by the end of this year. That's my own personal goal for the end of 2022. So I'm hoping to hit that by the end. But yeah, 10 weeks to do so. So a lot of work to do, but I'm going to look forward to it. Like I said, I'll be training with my training partner, going a lot heavier, a lot harder. So it'll be a lot more fun too, at least for me. But yeah, guys, so super excited to talk to all these future guests coming up on Coffee and Toys Live. I think I really just needed those 4 weeks off too. It's very taxing and stuff, having to do this every week on a live stream. It's kind of easier on the podcast for me personally because I can fumble up, I can say shit, I can do shit, and I can just edit it out and blah, blah, blah. Whereas on live, you have to be 100% on top of everything. You have to be engaged. You have to be paying attention. I'm trying to answer comments. I'm trying to stay engaged, as well as being a great host as well. It's my show, so it's my job to lead the show, to make sure that the show runs good, that we don't hit any snags, any kind of like awkward moments and stuff like that. So that's why I always send over a list of questions. In fact, this past show with Rocco the Great was the first one that I actually didn't have any questions lined up or written down. I didn't even have my script in front of me, and that's why I fucked up the intro. But I didn't have anything really, and we went on for that hour like nothing. So that's how great of a guest he is. Thankfully, he and I can just talk for hours. And if it wasn't for Instagram cutting us off, he probably would have talked up until his live stream. So I'm kind of glad that Instagram cut us off so that way he had time to go rest and get ready for his own live stream, because that stream was more important since he was dropping an item for his line. So thank you once again to Rocco the Great for showing up this week and bringing back Coffee and Toys Live. So with that being said, guys, why don't we talk about this week's toy haul? And man, oh man, am I excited, not only for this guy, but even these guys, because when I first started looking at the Super 7 line, I wasn't really too into it. I was like, okay, it's another set of turtles, blah, blah, blah. I have plenty of those. And then I saw these guys, the take on like the variant vintage figures, and I absolutely fell in love, especially with Sewer Samurai Leo, because it's just an updated, more detailed version of it, and it looks amazing. It just looks fucking amazing. You get some actually really decent poses out of this guy, especially with his sandals and everything. It gives him a lot more stability when he's standing and everything. So this is a phenomenal figure, from the detailing to the paint apps. He does have a bit of an issue with some loose hips. However, as you can see, he stands just fine, and he's going to look amazing on my shelf. I went in with the 4 turtles when they released them all at once. I wasn't really into that whole 1 turtle per wave scenario and waiting for, how long was it, like a year for all the turtles to finally be together. I really wasn't into that. So when they announced that all 4 were available, I'll admit that's what really got me. I was like, all right, all 4, all right, let's do this. I have a review page channel, so that kind of also helped, determine like, okay, you should buy these, look at them, take a look at them, since they are a different company and different brand that you're used to in terms of turtles. And Rocco the Great made a great video idea that he said he's going to take a bunch of toy lines and put them together and do like a top 10. I'm thinking about doing maybe the same thing, just maybe more localized to Ninja Turtles, because we have Playmates, we have NECA, we have Super 7, and well, that's about it, right? So I mean, maybe I can just gauge between the 3, and then we could do an overall top 10 on like McFarlane, NECA, Mezco. That's gonna be kind of biased because you guys know who I like and who I favor and who I say fuck you to, although I may say fuck you to them. However, they will still get me to buy their fucking shit. We'll get into that in a bit when we get into toy news, guys. Don't worry about that. I will look like a fool for you guys. But right now we're talking about toy haul, and here I do not look like a fool at all, because let's finish talking about these guys and then we'll talk about this guy, because man, do I have a story for you guys. So yeah, when they announced this wave in particular, I jumped in for 2 reasons. These 2 right here. I didn't get any of the other wave except for the Mousers. Although I don't think the Mousers were technically part of this wave. I think it was part of the next wave. But it seems like they're kind of shipping stuff out of order at this point because of all the delays and everything. And because I'm already getting my Sewer Surfing Mikey sent to me. He should be here on Sunday. So he'll be here on the table next week. But it seems like they're pumping out a bunch of these figures that they just got delayed. They got back ordered and stuff. And so yeah, they're just coming out all of a sudden. So can't really complain about new turtle figures just happening to show up on my doorstep. My dog started barking. I was like, what the fuck? Open the door, there's 2 boxes from Super 7, and I was like, sweet. I didn't even know these things were coming in. Mainly because my old email address was pretty full that I used for CoolFigurez and everything, and that's what I used to log into Super 7. And so I really wasn't getting emails until recently when I cleared out some space. And yeah, so super excited about these guys. These guys will look phenomenal on my shelf. Like I said, the reason I went with Sewer Samurai Leo, mainly because he's such a great variant. He's such an iconic classic variant, and he just looks fucking phenomenal. I love the alternate Super 7 head that they included with him wearing the mask. Not that the original head wasn't great, but I just think he looks that much more menacing with the mask on. So talking about the Crane figure here, the thing that really sold me on it was that you get 2 Crane. However, for the price of $55, you should get 2 Cranes because, they're tiny little brain blobs, so you do get 2 of these. This one being I guess the more like happy one, and this one being the more action sinister one. You do get the little stool that he sits on, as well as his little android body, which comes with detachable arms, alternate hands, and his gun. And the hatch does open up right here, so if you want to have this Krang in there, or if you want to have this Krang in there, you can have either one. The only thing with this thing is that the legs are a bit on the weak side. It's a bit difficult to get it to stand. You have to really find a good balancing point, and that's one of the gripes I'm finding with a lot of Super 7 figures, is that the ankles and the leg articulation is just very weak, and it's not good because, I mean, you're having to hold up this giant, exoskeleton suit, and you can't even, I'm just going to hold him up for you guys right now. Before I put him down and get him to stand again, I want to hold him up to the camera so you guys get a good look at him. I believe their reviews should be up this week. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with these 2 and Sewer Surfing Mikey for this week. And then, yeah, next week we'll move on to some other toys that I have reviews for. But there's that. Here's a little crane by himself. I'll go ahead and, pick up the stool with it. Let's see. There's a little stool with crane on it right there. And then I'll go ahead and pick up Sewer Samurai Leo right there. Yeah, see, his legs kind of spread out as he stands and stuff. So, yeah, but still a really cool, phenomenal figure. I absolutely just love everything that's going on with it. Just everything that's going on him. This banner, all this stuff, the multiple weapons, the different paints and everything. Just fucking phenomenal, fucking amazing. I absolutely love it. So now, let's talk about the piece de resistance right here. Captain Jack Sparrow. So last week I gave you guys a hint. A sea turtle's mate. Because if you remember in the movie, he claims that he got off that deserted island by using his back hair to turn into rope, strapping it to a pair of sea turtles, and riding them through the sea. And so that was the hint, and one person did get it, so shout out to them and congrats to them. No real prize or anything, but it was just a fun thing for you guys to try and guess at. And so yeah, this guy, man, I've been wanting a Jack Sparrow for a long time in my Hot Toys collection. Since I started my Hot Toys collection, all of 6 months ago in June, whenever Star Wars Celebration was. But yeah, unfortunately, they only release these figures whenever the movies come out, and it's been a while since they've released the Pirates movie, and it's probably going to be a while if they even do release another Pirates movie. And so this guy is quite a pretty penny on the aftermarket. Most Jack Sparrow Hot Toys will go anywhere from, I shit you not, $500 to $700 to $800, guys. So my goal or my want of having one of these was kind of just squashed and squandered. I never thought I would actually own a Jack Sparrow Hot Toys at that point because, like I said, $500 to $800, guys. Even I'm like, fuck that. I mean, maybe for a quarter scale, but not a 1/6. So I was just so bummed that I was never gonna get to own this guy. There was one in particular that I wanted where he's like walking on a blue base with the black pearl sail right there, and then also like a shark coming up. That thing was about $800. I think it was like $750 and $800 listings on eBay and whatnot. So I quickly gave up on that one. However, one day, as I do, I was cruising along OfferUp, checking out the Hot Toys for sale, and one caught my eye. A Jack Sparrow box. I click on the listing. Obviously, the guy has it offered up for $500. So I said no. Obviously, I said no. I can't do that, especially for a used one. I really can't. I can't justify that. No matter how old it is, no matter how well kept it is, I can't do that for a used figure. Unless it was, kept in box and stuff, then maybe, yeah, it'd be worth it to me. But this guy had him open and displayed on an open shelf. So I was like, it can't be worth that much if he had it on an open shelf display. If he had it in a DTOF, okay, but he literally had it in an open shelf, getting all dusty and stuff. Although he did clean it very well. I admit it is immaculately clean. Just the baseboard. No, now that I think about it, I fucking cleaned this thing. What am I saying? Why am I giving the guy credit? I fucking cleaned this thing. That's why it looks so fucking good. But anyways, guys, the guy wanted $500. So this was about 2 months ago when he posted it up, and I just was like, no, I can't. I honestly believe that it was going to be gone in a week. It's been 2 months. He slashes it down to $450. And even at $450, I was like, it's not worth it. Just don't buy it. And one day I was feeling really brazen. I was feeling like, you know what? I've done a lot of good in the collecting community in terms of when I buy. I never lowball. I always offer a fair offer. And if my offer's way too low and we talk about it, I'll go up. I have no issue going up, especially if I'm starting at a pretty low point, but I've never lowballed, you know what I mean? Like, I'll always maybe ask initially anywhere from $60 to maybe $20 off, depending on the price of the item. Like on a Hot Toy that's $350, I might be like, take it for $3, I'll take it off your hands, cash today, pick it up right now. A lot of the times they say, yeah. So that's why I've learned $50 isn't that bad when it's in the aftermarket and cash, pick up now, ready to go. Say it's a Mezco, maybe around $115, $120, I'll be like, hey, $100 even. A lot of the times they agree, and so that's why I've kind of gauged my average between $20 to $50 that I'll offer in terms of like negotiating and everything. However, for this guy, I knew that if I was going to get him for a decent price, I was going to have to lowball the fuck out of this guy. I knew I was going to have to get ignored. So I offered him to get the negotiations going from 500, well, 450 at the time because he slashed it, but we'll still say 500 because then he relisted it for we'll get there. For 500, I offered him 200. I know, a whole $300 off. The lowest lowball I could ever think of. I was honestly like, dude, he's not even going to respond. That's why I said I was pretty much expecting to get ignored. However, he came back and said 380 was his lowest. And I said, bet. 380, you're in the threes. Pfft. I was like, cash pickup, 300. And he's like, nah, man, I can't do that. And I was like, all right, I understand. And I was like, okay. Left the chat. He messages me a few minutes later. What about 350? And I almost took it, guys. I was this close to taking it. And I was just like, offer him 3. Stick to your guns. Stay to 3. Just do it. You know the whole Shia LaBeouf thing?
Do it! Just do it!
Yeah, that was what was playing in my mind when I was talking to this guy. And I was like, you know what, man? 3 is my top. And he's like, oh, all right. I can't do that. And I was like, all right. My offer's good for a week. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he messaged me. You really can't do 350. And I was like, 3's my top, bro. That's all I can do. And he was like, all right, can you meet now? And at the time, I was actually currently helping my friend Manny in his warehouse at VRare store. So I wasn't available. And I also needed to save up some cash. So I was like, you know what? I'm out of town for the week. But as soon as I'm back, I will pick it up the day I get back on Friday. Because I had some clients that were going to be paying me that week. So I was like, you know what? I just need to collect some payments, put some money aside, and I'll be good to go. And so he gave me the week. However, he did relist it for $500, trying to get someone to give him $500. And if somebody would have given him $500, I would have been like, dude, you do you. That's $500. I can't really beat that, or I can't beat that at all, or I'm not gonna. So I would understand. However, thankfully, nobody offered him the 5. And so I was able to take home this immaculate, beautiful piece right here for $300, guys. I could not fucking believe it. Deal of the century in my mind for any toy I've ever bought. $300 savings. I don't think I've ever saved that much money on a single toy. So this guy now holds the record for my biggest sale / come up yet. So yes, please welcome Captain Jack Sparrow to the lineup. He will be going in between Marty and Indy. And I was originally thinking that, you know, once Doc comes out, he can stand in there with Marty. But this motherfucker's huge. This base and everything, it takes up quite a lot of space. I went from only using 2 acrylic risers to 3. Because of the size of the base. But I mean, look at this. It's literally a whole wheel, guys. And it moves and rotates. And I mean, it comes with a little ship in a bottle. It comes with the long telescope. It comes with all his guns, his sword. And I fucking love this. And the likeness to Johnny Depp. And on top of that, he has movable eyes. I can turn his eyes whichever way I want to just by taking his face off. Which sounds creepy and weird, but yeah, one of the coolest figures I fucking own. The first DX figure I own, it was the first one that I opened up and it came in like that foam padding and everything. All these other ones came in like the plastic stuff, so yeah. One of my all-time favorite figures, next to Indy, next to the Chrome Clone Trooper, next to the regular 501st Trooper, next to Nightmare Batman. I mean, to be honest, guys, I fucking love all of these figures. That's the whole reason why I'm buying each and every single one of these. I'm not buying any of these just because I like it a little bit. No, I fucking love these guys, and that's why I'm putting my money there opposed to more budget-friendly figures. And, you know, we go into all of that and more in this week's Coffee and Toys Live. So stay tuned after the upcoming toy news to see this week's Coffee and Toys Live with guest Rocco the Great. But talking about toy news, guys, why don't we go ahead and jump on into that? Quite a bit of toy news this week from a few different companies. So let's go ahead and start off with my favorite one of all time, Mezco Toys. Mezco finally announced their solicitations for their Robin. Now Robin is finally coming to the 112th Collective, and all the Batman that we have can finally have a single Robin to them. He is expected July 2023, which is after Batman 89, but we all know it may still get pushed back. We all know that even Robin may still get pushed back. So that is all the Mezco news that we do have to talk about. Now let's go ahead and talk some NECA news. Now, I do want to preface this by saying, yes, I still say fuck you NECA, and I still say fuck you Randy Falk at NECA. However, I still say I respect and appreciate you, Trevor, all the people that sculpt and do stuff, Jason Yang that creates the box art for some of the work. Those people have nothing to do with the choices that the company makes. They are just workers that are putting their blood, sweat, and passion into these projects that we love and that they love as well. They have nothing to do with the higher ups and the decisions and all that stuff. They just do the good work that we buy and love. So when I say fuck you NECA and I say fuck you Randy Falk, I mean the top guys, the people that really make decisions that have nothing to do with the sculpting and anything like that, that just say, yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Fuck you, because you're the ones that came up with Auto T and all that other stuff. Everybody else, amazing work, great job. I will praise your work until the end of the day, and I just wish it was at another company, but I will continue to buy certain NECA products, mainly their TMNT line and mainly their Back to the Future line, which we will be talking about in just a second. But during their 31 Days of Fright Nights, they did tease that the Misfits are going to be coming to their Ultimate lines in 2023. Super excited about that. They also did announce their Ghostface 2.0. This is based off the newer Ghostface off of Scream 5. If you've seen that movie, you will know that they've continued the tradition of having stab films in the universe, and in it they kind of go above and beyond and give them a flamethrower and a chrome mask, and so this set does come with that, so that's pretty fucking cool. Aside from that, they did also announce 2 new things on today. Back to the Future Day. By the way, happy Back to the Future Day. Well, at least the day that I'm filming this on Friday, it is Back to the Future Day and Aloha Friday, so aloha guys. But if you didn't know, October 21st is Back to the Future Day, because that's the day they went back to the future in Back to the Future Part 2. October 21st, 2015 at 4:30 p.m. I believe. So best believe I'll be celebrating at that time. And I will also be attending the big get-together on the 25th at Puente Hills Mall. I live 45 minutes from where they actually filmed the mall scene, and I've never actually been to any of these events. I'm super excited. It'll be my first ever Back to the Future kind of event, and I may just cosplay as Marty. Back when I was a kid, I actually dressed up as him for Halloween one year, so I might have to redo that this coming year. But talking about Back to the Future and Back to the Future Day, NECA announced finally when they are going to be releasing the Back to the Future Ultimates accessory pack, and that will be coming October 26, and it will cost you $34.99, which is relatively cheaper than the TMNT ones that they've been releasing, which makes me wonder, are the prices dropping or are they just including less? My friend Robert did remind me that they had already told us what was coming in that accessory pack a while back. However, I personally cannot remember. They also announced a classic toy Garax from Defenders of the Earth, whatever that is. He'll be coming, I think, that day too, but I don't give a fuck about that. All I give a fuck about is Back to the Future, and yeah, we're finally getting that accessory pack, and I couldn't be happier. Alright guys, let's go ahead and move on to some Beast Kingdom news. If you don't know, I do collect the Beast Kingdom DAH line. I don't know if you guys can see them in frame, but they are down here in my DTOF. And they did announce 2 new figures coming to the DAH line. One of which is an instant pre-order for me. The other one is one I'll never get, and that is the Black Adam one. He does look phenomenal. I have to admit, the head sculpt does look exactly like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I'll be honest with you guys, after what he did, after what he got us back, I don't hate him anymore. He's been redeemed in my mind. I just don't need a Black Adam figure in my collection. I'm just not a big Black Adam fan, so that's why I'm not going to be picking it up, but he has been redeemed in my eyes, because we are getting Henry fucking Cavill back as Superman, thanks to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So in my eyes, whatever he did to the bodybuilding community, he's been redeemed for doing this for our community right here. I mean, and fuck the head of DC that didn't want Henry Cavill to come back as Superman. Fuck him, and fuck him for thinking that we were gonna give a fucking shit when he left DC and Warner and made a big stink. Oh, I'm gonna leave now that they're canceling my movies. Good! Get the fuck out. I don't even know why he's still there. Walter Hamada, get the fuck out. Did you know he was listening to his fucking college-age daughter as to what movies to put into the DCEU? What the fuck, dude? You're a grown fucking man. Make your own goddamn decisions. But at this point, see you later. Get the fuck out. I'm not gonna miss you one bit. You've completely ruined the DC name and universe, and you fucked over a lot of childhoods. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you fuck you, dude. Fuck you. We had perfect castings, and you just went and said fuck them. So now we're all saying fuck you, Walter Hamada. We're not gonna miss you, dude. Don't act like you're a Kevin Feige. You're nothing. So go work for Sony. They seem to like your kind of talent where they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So that's just me. But also exciting news about Matt Reeves as the Batman. He's talking to other directors about making other movies about villains and stuff that tie into the Batman and the Batman universe. So quick update on that since we're talking a little bit of Warner Brothers and stuff like that. But yeah. But actually, that actually does tie into the next figure that I'm going to be talking about, because right before I came on, they announced a brand new Batman DAH figure in the style of Alex Ross. I fucking love Alex Ross's art style, and now to get a DAH figure based off that is going to be amazing. That's the one that's an instant pre-order for me personally, and I cannot wait to get it sometime in 2023. So that is it in terms of Beast Kingdom news. So let's go ahead and talk a little Marvel Legends news. So a lot of Marvel Legends fans are getting their Galactuses in. Super excited to see the pics that come out of those. I personally am just not a big Marvel fan. The only real Marvel fan that I was when I was growing up was Spider-Man. And the X-Men, the animated series and stuff, but I just never really had a tie to the Galactus and all that, and the Sentinels. But I'm excited for you, those of you that got those products for your collection, because you are fans. It's always a great thing when you get those hard to put in pieces. Us Star Wars fans are still waiting for Hasbro to get their shit together to offer that kind of stuff for us in our HasLabs. But I'm happy for you, because now you guys are actually getting a taste of what us Star Wars fans get every HasLab that gets announced with the Engine of Vengeance. I personally was gonna back it because I do like that car. However, the way it's looking like it's not gonna get backed at all. So talking about Marvel Legends, let's go ahead and talk about the new Legends that were released and revealed. Starting off with the comic styled War Machine. This is a repaint of an Iron Man in the style of War Machine, so that will be available pretty soon. We are getting a Pretty Boy, which is like, seems like they're running out of characters. Pretty Boy? I mean, maybe he's a main character. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan, aside from Spider-Man. So anything outside of his lore and stuff, I don't really know. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for Marvel Legends. Let's talk some Star Wars news, because they had a live stream. They didn't announce any new Black Series, I believe. I don't think they announced any new Black Series during that live stream. However, they did announce a new Black Series helmet in the form of the Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet. And as you guys know, I collect these helmets. And as you guys know, Clone Troopers are my all-time favorite. Yes, Phase 1 Clone Troopers are my all-time favorite. However, you cannot see it right now, but if you've seen my collection before, you can check out my latest studio update where you'll see the helmets up top. But I do have a Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet from back when the original Clone Wars animated movie was released. I've had it that long, guys. So I have that one. Next to it, I do have a Stormtrooper helmet and then a First Order Trooper helmet to show the evolution. However, there's no Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet there, so that is going to go there. And probably Death Watch Mando is going to be moved somewhere else in the collection, so that way it can be Phase 1, Phase 2, Stormtrooper, First Order. I just love that idea in my head. And also, just even though it's a Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet, it's still a Clone Trooper helmet, and I still want it in my collection. So that's pretty much all I want to talk about in terms of like the Star Wars stuff. They announced some retro figures, some vintage collection figures for Return of the Jedi's anniversary. Not really interested in any of that besides the helmet, which has nothing to do with Return of the Jedi, but you know, I'll take it anyways. So with that being said, guys, why don't we wrap things up with some Diamond Select news. So shout out to my friends over at Diamond Select and their marketing manager, Zach Oat, for sending over all the information and the images for these products. Starting off, they are getting a brand new Marvel Select Blade figure. I believe it is an Entertainment Earth exclusive. If it isn't, it went up first on Entertainment Earth. By the way, I have recently signed on with Entertainment Earth, so I do have an affiliate link that will always be linked down in the description below. Just click on it. You get free shipping on anything over $39 and 10% off all in-stock products, guys. I need to start leading my shows with that. But yeah, I just recently signed on with them. So all you have to do is click the link in my description, in my bio, and it'll send you there. You don't have to enter any codes. You'll get all the savings and stuff like that. And so yeah, Entertainment Earth has a Marvel Select exclusive Blade figure. But they did also announce their brand new Marvel Select comic book Black Panther figure. This thing looks really cool because it has some blue contrasting shading on it, and the base, as always, looks fucking phenomenal. They did also announce some resin statues, starting off with a 1/2 3D scale resin The Thing statue. This thing looks hyper realistic, really good texturing. I think that's what the 3D stands for, so should be great. They are also coming out with a 1/7 scale Rebels Vader statue. Super awesome. Also announced is a 1/2 scale 3D Mandalorian Boba Fett resin bust. This thing is super detailed, amazing, looks just like his appearance in The Mandalorian. Up next, we are also getting another 3D half scale bust in the form of Doctor Strange. This one's based off of the MCU's Doctor Strange and not the comic book. Next up, we are going to be talking about two new gallery statues that are coming into the line. If you don't know what the gallery statues are, they are the PVC versions of the statues that Diamond Select / Gentle Giant produce. Well, Gentle Giant produces their high-end stuff. Diamond Select will produce their budget stuff, which I say with an asterisk because it's PVC, so it's a little cheaper to make and produce and sell, but never think that it's because of the quality. The quality in their gallery statues is second to none at that price point. They always come with the quality and attention to detail that a higher end statue would come with, but with just the added benefit of only costing anywhere from $35 to $80 retail, depending on the size and how elaborate it is. And also, if you happen to drop it, if you happen to bump into it, it's not going to break. So your investment is protected. Not that it's even much of an investment to begin with. So super awesome to see these ones coming into the line. And that is a comic style Electro and an MCU first ever Namor. So super excited to see both of these two coming into the line, along with the Shop Disney exclusive one we spoke about last week, the Zombie Cap. So moving on, they did also announce an animated style Peter Parker statue, which is like 1/2 Peter Parker, 1/2 Spider-Man. Looks fun and cute. This one caught my eye. A 1/7 scale mini bust of Daredevil. This thing looks phenomenal. This thing just looks fucking awesome. I mean, look at it. It's the Man Without Fear right there on your shelf. So moving on, we did also get an announcement of a jumbo retro Ahsoka Tano figure. She stands 12 inches tall and will be coming soon. We will also be getting a 1/7 scale Grand Inquisitor Premier statue, which is a little more higher end than some of the other ones. So look out for that. And last but not least, we are getting a 1/6 scale A New Hope Yoda milestone statue, which kind of makes me scratch my head because we didn't get introduced to Yoda until Empire, not New Hope, right? Or am I mistaken? I know he was mentioned in A New Hope, but we were never introduced to him until Empire. However, he looks phenomenal. So with that being said, guys, that wraps up this week's toy news. So thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Coffee and Toys, and stay tuned for Coffee and Toys Live with guest Rocco the Great coming up right now after I finish this quick little intro, guys. I just want to say once again, thank you so much for all of you that subscribe to me here on YouTube, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to me here on YouTube and follow me over on Instagram at CoolFigurez, and my second toy photography page where I post my more thought out plan and more edited pics Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. And like I said, click the link down in the description below if you have anything you want from Entertainment Earth. Free shipping over $39 and 10% off all in-stock product. With that being said, guys, let's get into this week's Coffee and Toys Live.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just get around here.
Let's
Hey,
see,
what's
share
up?
this video. All right. I could share the video to
Oh,
other.
yeah, man, if you can.
Yeah, let's share this video out.
Fix this.
There we go. Share this out to some people.
I'm gonna do the
How
same
you
right
been?
now.
How you been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. How about yourself?
Good. Nice mustache.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I see you keep putting in work on your Goose Faba and System Island stuff, so I'm excited to talk about that, man.
Yeah, perfect timing too. So I appreciate this. Thank you.
No, of course, of course. Let me just get a quick intro in for the show, and we'll go ahead and get started, man.
Perfect.
All right, guys, welcome back to episode 32 of Coffee and Toys, The Return. I know it's been a few weeks since we've been here live, but we're back, and this time we have guests with us once again. Fan favorite, Rocco the Great. How you doing, man?
What's up, everybody? Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. And you know, we'll bring this up today, but you know, we had a real life situation with you. Like the internet went into real life, and that was pretty interesting. We'll talk about that today. That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. I was trying to think back, but yeah, I remember that message you sent me, and oh yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Now that I think about it and stuff, and you know, we'll definitely get into all that. Plus, you have something new that you're going to be releasing literally today, right?
Yes.
Man? Tonight in
So,
a few hours.
So at 8 o'clock tonight, in 2 hours, we're going to be dropping my Halloween Sculpt Bot right here. Really excited. These are limited to 9. They're only $35. This is literally, I was talking to Hun and I was saying I wanted to make a nice entry point for anyone to be able to jump into System Island. You know, anyone could afford $35. It's freaking the Marvel Legends now, those crappy Marvel Legends in the store. So these are all numbered. They're all numbered in the back, and they're all signed. And these things are really awesome. So I'm very excited. And they're Halloween edition. So you can't beat that.
No, yeah, exactly, man. Like you said, you know, you're thinking outside the box. You're giving people an entry-level product that, like you said, everybody can afford at this point. Because if you're buying any kind of action figure nowadays, at least that's not a McFarlane, then you're definitely spending easily $32 on that thing, you know? Yeah. I made a joke the other day, too.
Yeah, like, New York, New Jersey, it's like $35. So...
Wow. Yeah, it's at this point I've decided to just put all my money towards Hot Toys and stuff, man. It's like, why buy 2 figures for the price of 1 Hot Toy?
I'm glad you said that, because last time we spoke, you were saying you were going to get your first one, and you were asking me, like, what's a good Batman to get? Now you have a whole wall behind you, and I've been watching you on TikTok, Instagram, just every day, like you get 4. You don't. That's the thing I like about you. You don't just get 1. You're like, you know what? You know, I had a good workout today. I bought 6 Hot Toys, and I was like, that's high T energy right there, buddy.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Some people would call it high T. Some people call it an addiction. I like your way better. I like your version better.
No, we have an addiction to coffee, but the toys that's fun right there.
No, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, like you said, you know, I was thinking about getting one. I was like, maybe I'll dip my feet in, get my toes wet a bit. And next thing you know it, man, I'm surrounded by like 20 of them. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, how did these all get here?
And they are addicting. So I went through my Hot Toy stage back in like 2012, and they were cheaper back then too. But I had like 4 like you. I filled up a Detolf. I was like, Marvel Legends just seemed boring compared to it, and I just started buying, because once you get into it, it's like I have my Hot Toys Boba Fett, and then I have my 3A figures. 3A figures, you know, those are pretty much Hot Toys, or, you know, like similar 12-inch doll clothing figures. But once you own one, it's like you can't just have one. But I got them down. I literally have 1 Hot Toys left. So.
Wow, yeah. I don't think I'll ever get rid of these only because yeah, I see more value in them nowadays, especially with the prices rising and everything. It's like
Yeah, it's an
I'd rather
investment.
put that money exactly, but I'd rather put my money towards that and knowing that I'm gonna get the best sculpt, the best kind of soft goods, good accessories and stuff, opposed to a blind box essentially with a picture on the box that's not even an actual representation of what's
So
inside.
yeah, yeah. You see how many they're just misprinting like full lines. Like I saw some guy got a half of a Spider-Man. Like half of the Spider-Man was not painted. It
Yeah,
didn't even make
yeah.
sense. It didn't even make sense. But
Yeah, but even on top of that, I saw that some of the figures that they're putting on the boxes are better versions than what they're actually
oh
putting out. They'll show
yes,
like
yeah,
pinless
they
joints, better paint. I mean, that's false advertisement.
dude, if anyone here knows me on my live stream, I've been screaming from the rooftops about Hasbro. Really let down. Um, McFarlane, and it's funny because I was super tough on McFarlane in the beginning because I knew
Hmm.
there was potential and I wasn't happy with the directions he was going. But boy, he turned around almost 360 now. Like McFarlane, great. He took away a little bit of the accessories, but I really feel like if you walk into the retail store, you're getting even NECA. I'm done. I'm done with NECA. They're $40 in my neighborhood. $40. I'm like, no thanks. No thanks. And so
Yeah.
McFarlane, it's still $20. And you could walk into your store and make a purchase while you're buying plates or something. You know what I mean? That's what retail toys are. It's not like you're not going to go into Target and buy a Goose Fob, but that's something you're like, or a Hot Toys, you want that, so you're ready to pay premium. But like when we're going into Marvel Legends are not good figures. They're just available. So when you go
Hmm.
into the store and it's like a $15, $20 figure, and you're like, oh, the Wolverine, he's pretty cool. He's got two heads. It's like an impulse buy. But when they're 30, $35 and you're not even seeing it, and when you pick up the packaging, it's flimsy. It's cereal box material. That's what they're using. And it's just like, no, thank you. I'm good. So I saved a lot of money this year.
No, yeah, you and a lot of collectors. At the beginning of the year, I was like, this is going to be the year of very selective collecting for a lot of us. And I didn't think it was going to get this selective. But yeah, when you're having to pay $35 for a single figure, you're really standing there in the toy aisle, really thinking. It's not like, oh man, this is a cool figure. I'm going to pick it up now. It's like, well, do I really need it? Is it going to be in addition to my collection? Is it just going to be a hindrance on my wallet? Like, you really have to think about it. And then, yeah, like you said, with the boxes that you don't even see the figure and you don't know what you're getting anymore.
You're like, how,
So,
they're supposed to. The whole point of the window was they're selling us on this item. You know what I mean?
hmm
You know how many times I bought a figure because the accessories just looked fun and I wanted to play with it on my kitchen for that night. You know what I
hmm
mean? Like, oh,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
got like three sets of hands. And like sometimes I'll buy a wrestling figure because I'm like, ooh, he comes with a shirt and he comes with a vest and he comes with like some glasses. That's cool. Sold. So it's just interesting. And everybody smash that like button. If you're watching this right now, smash that like button and let's see who's here. What's up, everybody? Oof, I'm good, man. I had like 3 cups of coffee. So I wish I had it right now, but I'm drinking water. Boring.
Yeah, you gotta stay a little hydrated. You're gonna be going on for a while, man. Because after this, you're gonna be going on your own stream to be pushing your Halloween sculpt bot. So,
That's it.
man, you gotta stay hydrated. You're already caffeinated. Just stay hydrated. Stay ready.
Hmm.
I can tell you have the energy for today. So it's gonna be a good live stream, and
I'm so,
I have no doubt it's gonna sell out in. I want to say under a minute. I'll say under a minute. There's only 9 of them. They're $35.
yeah.
I know your fans will
Yeah,
buy them up in a
we
second.
we sold we sold 11 of these guys at 150, 135 in less than a minute. So
Well,
uh
that's what I'm saying.
the
I say
scope
30
box,
seconds or less.
yeah, that's let's make it happen. And but that's the thing too is, I'm always confident, because anything you put out, you should always be ready and confident and excited. But I never take anything for granted. So every time I drop something or I'm working on a figure, it feels like it's my first time. You know what I mean? I never rest on my laurels. I don't think I have anybody's like. I have to earn people every single drop. I have to earn everybody's, sale and attention. So I'm putting it in. I'm already working on the next figure. I've been very busy in the best way ever. So
No, yeah, and I think that's really what's separating you between you and these major companies nowadays is that they're not doing that. They're not in tune with their fans. They're doing the opposite of what we're asking of them. I've never, I mean, besides Warner Brothers not giving us Henry Cavill as Superman, I've never known a company to not give the people what they want when they're so adamant and vocal about it. It's like,
Yeah.
we've been very vocal about the windowless packaging. And I've also heard that, one, that doesn't really do much for the environment, considering you're giving us a whole plastic figure.
It's nothing about the environment. And that's what, when I see people, it's about Hasbro's raising their profit margin. And
yeah, that saves the money.
So this was my problem. And, you know, there's new people here. So my people that, you know, my channel, they hear this all the time. But people are getting tricked, right? Everyone's always for the environment. Fine. I feel like that's something you don't have to say. But Hasbro, you do one, right? So Hasbro did 3 wrongs. So 1, you raise prices, but keep everything else, right? So you keep the quality, keep the accessories, keep the plastic, right? And you raise the price and people could go, eh. Or 2, you keep the window and you take away accessories, but keep the price, right? Like, so they did the 3 things all at the same time. So they took away the window, they lowered the quality, they took away accessories and raised the price.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be excited about that? No.
Oh, yeah, we get new Spider-Man figures, man. Why aren't you excited? They're Spider-Man figures.
And guys, if you want to buy those Spider-Man figures, you could get them on in China. Like they have the off the line. They're not even bootlegs. I wouldn't even call them bootlegs. What the factory workers do, because there's no rules in China, they just take them. They take them off the factory line. They sell them on their eBay sites or their, you know, Wish or whatever website you're getting. And I was just looking. I had an ad today. That rare Spider-Man everyone's paying like $50-$60 for. It was $20. And I was like, I'm still not buying it, but you know, I'm not buying Hasbro right now. I don't care about Marvel. You know, I'm making my own stuff, but I'm really just, nothing seemed exciting to me this year.
No, yeah, definitely, man. That makes a lot of sense. And
or at least not at retail.
Well, real quick, talking about what you're doing with your own product, Sherpy in the comments said he tried to grab a Goose Faba, but he was too slow. Do you want to give him some good news?
Well, first of all, shout out to Sharpie. I know him, graffiti artist, and I actually have, hold on, I have his sticker. I had the sticker right here. Me and him did like this little collab sticker. It's somewhere over here, but yeah, this is, if anyone ever wants something from my sites, it seems like the desktop version works the quickest. So like if you're mobile, head over to a computer. And I post the direct link. That's why when I go live, every time I make a drop, I'm live, right? I always want to do both, build hype, have fun. And, you know, it's my whole thing is you're part of the community. It's not just, I'm not just selling figures. You know, we're part of the community. I listen to people. I hear people what they want, and I give it to them. So I put the direct link into my chat. So desktop computer with the direct link from my chat is your best bet. And I use eBay. eBay, you could, if you have an account, you could use it. But if you don't have an account, you could still use eBay as a guest. And I found it's like the best, because I was looking at all different things. I used to have my own website, you know, because I had my own clothing brand for like a few years. And it was, you know, I already, you know, ran businesses and stuff. And I found like, what do people know? You know, everybody knows eBay, right? You tell somebody, where's it going to be? eBay. Everyone knows that, right? You tell somebody, oh, I'm going to have this thing on my website. It's like, people, like, first, you have to make things as easy as possible for people. You know, like if you heard you have to jump through hoops to get the new McFarlane figures.
No, the new NECA TMNT turtles.
Can we talk about that?
Oh, we're going to talk about that, man.
Okay.
I've been waiting to talk to you about that because I know you have some choice words with me, so we're going to talk about it. Let's talk about your stuff first, because that's more important.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's just like this whole thing was last year was my first like full year as a toy YouTuber, right? So I I bought merch to review. I got a lot of stuff from companies. I was fully I was toy hunting every day, buying stuff. I'm in the culture, right? And I had an empty feeling. I was buying retail stuff, you know, blah blah blah, and just you're like, this is empty. I felt empty, you know, after that. And I was just like, I had my character. And it's funny, this is the actual first ever Goose Faba prototype. So in December, I just had the random idea. I said, you know what? I'm sick of just complaining, right? Like, you could sit there and complain all you want. It's not going to change anything. So instead of just me saying, Hasbro, I'm unhappy with the prices raising, or I'm unhappy with the quality, I said, I'm going to do something about it. So I just said, frick it, let's go. And it was a lot of trial and error, and I failed at every moment. Like, every moment, people don't understand. The first drop was a success, but behind the scenes, everything went wrong. Like, stressed out, everything went wrong, but it still worked out because I didn't give up. You know, like, I got to there, and then now we're like 9 drops in, dude.
Yeah.
It's like maybe more. You know, we had, how many waves did I have? I know how many there are, but like off the top of my head, I can't even say. And all successes, and I listen to people. So people were like, you know, we want more accessories. I made sure we got more accessories. People were like, we want a box. I made sure I found a way to do collective boxes. So that's, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to be different than Hasbro, different than Mattel? I could actually listen to people. So, you know, they don't want to. Nobody told Hasbro they want that freaking Robbie Reyes figure, the HasLab. Nobody wants that figure. He's a bum character. Nobody cares about that character, and they just want a car. That's what's funny. And there's cheaper cars out there. You can get a car in 1/12 scale, but I don't know. We're jumping all over the place. But yeah, my figures, we're doing, even Monday I sold the stands to my sculpt bots. And
That's really cool, man.
So I made the sculpt bots, right? And then, you know, originally, like, you know, everything I got to do is I got to do it little by little, right? So, you know, these, we did them, they sold out, it was great. And then I'm like, all right, so they fly. So, you know, you could have them on your shelf just standing, but I wanted more. So I found a guy, we worked together, Juice Minis, what's his full, Juice Minis, I think, yeah. And we worked together, and he made this really cool stand. It even plugs in the back.
Oh shit, that's dope.
And it plugs in the bottom too. So it's, when you get this on here, it's on there, look.
Yeah, damn, that's cool.
So I'm really excited. These weren't even supposed to go up. And that's the cool thing about having, when you have your people watching you with the live streams, on Monday, people were just like, when's the stands coming out? And I said, someone said, put them up now. I said, should I put them up now? And the chat was like, yeah. And they sold out. So it's really cool. I was really happy with those. And then the sculpt bots right here, I can't wait, man. I can't wait to get these out. This is a new product. These are the newer versions. So see this, the original sculpt bot is larger, and this is a different model. So we have this little one right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You paint it all up, all Halloween themed and everything.
Yeah. So this month we're gonna have the Halloween Shadow Goose, the Halloween Sculpt Bot, and then Halloween Goose Faba is coming out next Friday. So this month is, you know, all the Halloween stuff. Then November we're taking a break, and then there might be some Christmas products, but I don't look. I plan into the future, but I'm not there yet. Right now, we didn't sell these yet. So what I'm focusing on is this guy right here. So I never get too ahead of myself.
No, yeah, definitely, man. I mean, as it is, like, you kind of already have gotten so much done within what, less than
9 months,
10 months, yeah.
Yeah, 9 months.
Like you said, the first one got dropped in January, and here you are on wave, what, 9, 10? You know, I mean, what wave is Halloween Faba going to be?
Yeah, hold on. So let's see. So we have wave 1 was Goose Faba with the camo. Wave 2 was the white shirt. Wave 3 was Battle Damage. This is wave 3 right here.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And then wave 4 was no, wave 4 was, well, we got to do one at a time, because first Goose Faba. So I think there's 4 waves of Goose Faba, 2 waves of Fat Cap Joe, and 1 wave of Shadow Goose. I'm pretty sure. And then 2 waves of Sculpt Bots. Then we had the Sculpt Crates, the Sculpt Blasters. Yeah, I have an unpainted Sculpt Crate right here. And then I have a Sculpt Blaster somewhere on the table. I play with my figures all day. My table is filled with them. Like, hold on. There's the Sculpt Blaster.
There it is.
There's the skull crate. But yeah, look at my desk. Hold on, you ready? So I got all my figures here, and then I have the Influence 3A. People give Mezco all the credit. 3A created the first 1/12 scale cloth figure. So I always give respect to 3A. They walked so Mezco could run, and then I could fly. So and I got a Christmas Gomez on my table too. This is what really inspired me. I saw this guy, and I said, "This isn't, not." I like Mezco. I'm not pooping on Mezco. I just said they got a base stock body, they pop a head on it, and you put some clothes. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So Mezco, 3A, all influenced me to just finally say, I'm going for it. And really, the cool thing was, I wanted it for me. So in the beginning, I told myself, even if this doesn't hit, even if people don't buy on board, I don't care, because it's a goal of mine and I'm happy with it. And the fact that, people jumped on and people are invested, man. You got to see, some people's collections are amazing. I save every picture that everybody tags me in, and all that stuff. And I have my first fan art right here.
Oh, nice.
Of a sculpt bot from a 9-year-old fan right here of a sculpt bot.
Oh, wow.
So that's on my wall right there. So living the dream, dude. I'm happiest I could ever be. Living the dream.
That's great, man. That's great. And then on top of that, you're gonna be getting a new addition to the family. So it seems like everything's just working out great for you, man. That's amazing.
Oh, 6. Ella Chooch. Listen, I just finally learned Chooch's name. I used to call him Cooch. People don't know this. I'm an artist. I'm not that smart, man. I could draw things. So please don't overestimate me ever.
I think you're smart in a lot of ways, but maybe just not reading comments on the fly and reading usernames on the fly. But everything else, man,
my brain moves faster than my mouth.
Hey, a lot of smart people out there have that same issue, man. And it seems like I said, after 10 months, you've already released so many waves of a single figure, and it's been so successful. You have to be doing some right stuff, and so you have to have a pretty decent amount of intelligence. And just the fact that you listen to your fans, you have way more intelligence than anybody working at Hasbro, NECA, and any of those, companies right now.
I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think that's one of the biggest issues with toy companies nowadays, is that they don't employ toy collectors, and that was one of the biggest things that I learned, is that, the toy industry isn't made up of toy collectors. Through this guy that worked in the toy industry for 25 years, and him being a toy collector, and him expecting there to be a bunch of toy collectors running the business, when it turns out it's just a bunch of MBA graduates just trying to make a profit for the people.
Well, yeah, and a lot of it too is people have agenda. There's clearly an agenda at Hasbro. Look who's working there. Without taking any shots, people have done it enough. But you could just see companies care more about their brand awareness, and their brand footprint than really putting out products that people want. Like the HasLab, right? HasLab is for adult collectors. No child is buying a $400 car. That Goblin Queen girl, her whole thing is that she's sexy, and they censored her boobs. They made them smaller. They made her boob. All the female characters, if you notice, they make all their boobs smaller than their renders. I'm just like, take a note, guys. They make the boobs smaller. Women cannot be sexy. It's just not a thing. You can't be sexy. Everyone cares about that virtue signal, that, so of course, even obvious, Hasbro's the biggest thing. So you're not going to get any good that's why it's like, don't invest your time into that. It's just going to let you down. It's just going to let you down. They care more about, checking boxes off than giving you the best product out there. And they're not going to listen to you, and you're not going to be happy. And it's like, I'm so glad I'm out of that, because, feeling disrespected and by these companies and not listened to and mocked. Hasbro, the workers at Hasbro mock people. So look at the YouTube shills who are dissenting on people's valid opinion and criticism. You remember, we're always allowed to criticize stuff, especially big corporations. And when you see these YouTubers that are in the pocket of Hasbro, and believe it or not, these guys aren't even getting paid. They're just hoping that they get that interview. They're just hoping they might get a box of free Hasbro figures. And it's like, you're going to sell yourself out not even for money, dude. If they were getting money, I would be like, all right, I get it. But
Yeah, take that
boy,
Hasbro money.
and that shows you some people are on here, and I go off on my Instagram, my YouTube. A lot of people are in this for clout. People are in the game for clout, right? So they're gonna say what's popular. They're gonna say the, you know, and I don't know. It's just not me. That's not why I'm on YouTube. I'll go work corporate job if I want to suck ass. You know, that's not why I'm doing things.
No, I 100% agree with you, man, because, you know, let's go ahead and get into this. Why not? But going into what NECA did recently with their whole auto T shit, that rubbed me the wrong ways on so many fucking levels. And I have valid reasons. I'm not just pissed off for no reason, you know?
Yeah.
There's valid reasons. It's like,
so explain it first, because I had to have people like explain this to me. I still almost don't know if I get it. So there might be people in here that are like, what are you talking about? So NECA and Walmart teamed up, and it's just as bad as you think it is.
Oh, it's even worse. So they teamed up, but the way they teamed up was to give us codes, not even actual product, to sell us virtual, untangible items that you then have to go to a separate website and redeem and decide whether or not you want to store your collectible in a virtual vault or have it shipped to you. And when you click that ship option, they say, okay, well, in 15 days, we'll consider shipping the product to you. 15 fucking days. We're in 2022. What company takes 15 fucking days to ship out a product?
And listen, I don't fault NECA and Walmart for trying to make money, right? They don't care about us. It's the people who, and I don't even care if people are into that, right? If you think that's a good idea and you're going to do it, I know a lot of collectors are like, I don't have space. If I could just own, because, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. So my whole thing is the people who are going to be down, like me and you, like say we have criticism, there'll be those people who are like, oh, boo, 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 boo. Like the people who get mad that people are criticizing this stuff. And it's like, there's nothing worse than that. That's like, oh my God. Like in They Live, they would be like the worst alien. Like they're not even invited to that like special hall party alien. Like,
no, yeah. So it's like, it makes no sense to me because one, they're making cash on the initial sale.
Yeah.
Then if you want it shipped or stored, they're going to make cash off that. And then on top of that, if you sell it through them, they take a percentage off that. So they're just making like triple profit off a single product.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's actually, and you know what though? The toy community. Oh look, Cody Rain says going to try and get a Halloween sculpt bot tonight, Cody.
Yep.
8 o'clock. I'm going live. 8:30. They're dropping. Don't miss it, Cody.
Right after this live stream, head over to Rocker the Great's YouTube channel. He'll be live, and he'll be dropping those sculpt boxes tonight, guys.
Oh, but NECA, man, I don't know, dude. If you don't see that all these toy companies don't, and look at it, everything's a pre-order now. Because and this is what happened with video games. You know why video games suck now? Everything's a DLC because they know you're going to pay for it. They're selling us not finished games, dude.
Yeah. There's so many games that come out now that are unplayable until like a week or two later when they patch it.
It's crazy, dude. And people are okay. They still go pre-order stuff. You never pay for something that you didn't see yet. How you know, like the Mystique, right? Everyone pre-ordered her, and she doesn't look like the renders.
That's what
and
I'm
you
saying.
know what people are gonna do? They're gonna just take it up the tailpipe, to quote The Mask.
No, yeah, man, it's ridiculous. You know, like I keep saying, you know, Marvel Legend fans, you guys have a case for a class action lawsuit of false advertisement, in my opinion. I think if they all got together, they can file a class action lawsuit. Because
I think the box says item may vary, like photos may vary. That's how they get you.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them. All right, they're good. They covered their own ass.
You know they got Hasbro is the biggest toy company in the world, dude.
Yeah.
But they somehow need our money to crowdfund.
Exactly. It's starting to just get really ridiculous. And going back to that NECA vault thing, it's like I have valid reasons why that is the stupidest thing to come from a toy company. It's like, one, what collector, I mean, I understand, like you said, if somebody doesn't have space, but even still, even if a collector doesn't have space, they're like, I'll shove it in somewhere. I'll stick it in the corner. What
That's what she
collector
said.
doesn't, yeah. What collector doesn't want the actual tangible product? Like, even
Well,
inbox collectors want to display it.
and you know what's funny? Because NECA, there's stuff like, listen, NECA used to be valuable. Try selling a NECA figure. They like
Yeah.
none of these retail figures hold their value. The NECA figures, I have like those NECA figures from like 5 years ago. They're not even worth above retail.
Mm-mm.
You know,
They
like
keep restocking them.
They keep restocking them. Yeah, and if there is something rare, and that's another thing I was trying to, I'm always trying to give tidbits on my live streams. NECA just literally re-released old Comic-Con exclusive figures. So people who paid $100 to $200 for that Dutch, the 2016 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Dutch figure, and luckily I sold mine a little while ago, and because I had two that I didn't open, and they were like what, 20 something, $30 when they came out, and then they were selling for like 200 or something like that, and I was like, you know what, screw this. And then this Comic-Con, first of all, they popped up on that costumes NECA
The
website.
Holocon, yeah.
And then they were at Comic-Con, and they're $30. So people, less than what people paid originally, you could have got that figure. So nothing. First of all, I told people, if when I tell you something's limited, it is. When NECA says or Hasbro says something's limited, you know how much to get a factory going? You have to have thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands in production to get an exclusive. NECA sits on warehouses of every exclusive that ever came out. Nothing is scarce in retail. That's the whole point of retail. Nothing is scarce. So never overpay. You know, how many times did WWE figures, when the line is leaking out, people like pay double they pay the scalpers, and then they're on clearance, and I come in and when they're $4 on clearance, and I'll buy them up. So it's ridiculous, dude. It's just ridiculous. And it's the people who don't care ruin it for everybody.
No, yeah. I mean, it's not even just the retail figures that don't really hold their value. You know, a lot of people put a lot of stock and investment into Mezcos and Hot Toys. And in reality, man, those don't even hold up their value that much either. You know how many times
Catwoman went down in value.
Yeah. There's a lot of Mezcos that eventually, if you wait it out and you wait out for the people that sell the initial like restock, like, okay, I got it first in hand. If you wait for them to just sell those, there's going to be other ones that are just sitting on like OfferUp, eBay, and stuff like that.
Yeah, and yeah, you've been having good luck. I never paid full price for a Mezco. I always wait for the hype to die down, and then I buy them because I'm not a box collector, so I'll get them loose. I'll tell the guy no box, it'll be cheaper. I have like 7 Mezco Batmans because when the hype died down a little bit, people were selling them for $20, $30.
Yeah,
with no box, and I'm like, I bought them up. I bought a Mezco Evil Dead figure Ash in the box for $50 shipped.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I still remember. And it's just, people are ridiculous, dude. Always wait. You don't have to, but people, they like the hype, right? A lot of people want to be the first guy to get it. Which I don't really get that either. I don't know, dude. I think me and you, we're not that type of person, so it's hard to understand that mindset.
Yeah, you and me, I feel like, are kind of similar in terms of like what we collected and stuff, and that was what we wanted to collect and what we chose to collect. Where a lot of these collectors are completists and they're loyalists. They have to. Oh my God, NECA. Oh my God, Hasbro. They can do no wrong. It's like they can do a lot of wrong.
Yeah.
Until you fucking call them out on it, especially like the bosses like Randy Falk. Fuck him for all this shit. By the way, I just have to put that out there.
What did he do with the boxes?
He's the boss. Well, no, he's the boss of NECA and everything. He's probably the one that came up with Auto T and all this other stuff, and the distribution and the idea to redo or restock the convention exclusive.
Just flood the shelves with any figure ever. And that's what I like about NECA, because like you don't have to worry. Like if I did want a figure, I don't have to worry. I will see it eventually. Yeah. But it sucks for people who are collectors. It really, they're not collector's items at that point, really. It's just, they're just like, something you're going to try selling a NECA Jason figure. Try reselling one. You can't even give one away. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Speaking of NECA, I got my Halloween H2, which they re-released him. You can't get a Loomis unless you buy 5 of this guy. So that's annoying too.
But I also saw your review of their Halloween 2, what was it?
Oh my God, dude.
Lori and Loomis 2-pack. And
I wish I didn't
I
open
saw
it.
the quality. Yeah, I saw what happened. I was like, really?
The plastic was all like melted. Yeah, that thing was like $90. Ridiculous. I'm done, man. And that I bought that last year to review, and I didn't do it in time for Halloween. It's like I'm not gonna do one for Christmas time. So like I opened it this year, and I regretted it, man. And I'm glad I didn't buy a NECA figure this year.
Yeah, see, they still have me by the balls in terms of like their TMNT line, but everything else, I'm like, yeah, it's only because they're the only ones putting out pretty decent TMNT figures at this time and
you're
stuff
not gonna
like
get
that.
them from Playmates.
Yeah, and that's the only thing they have going for them at this time. But other than that, yeah, it's just like I'm trying to avoid everything NECA, everything Hasbro, anything really retail at this point. I'm trying to just avoid, and like I said, just put into Mezcos or Hot Toys, something that's I know I'm gonna get more value for my dollar and stuff like that.
Yeah, like, and you're never gonna regret buying a nicer figure. You know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna be like, oh, I shouldn't have bought this beautiful Hot Toy.
Exactly, man. Exactly. I spend so much time just staring at this wall, and there's a bunch of other figures behind me that I've spent probably just as much in combination, and it's just like it's not as good, it's not as equal because the time, the attention to the detail, the investment into the single figure, you really do get what you pay for and stuff. And yes, it seems like a big upfront cost, but when you break down like a single wave of Marvel Legends, a single wave of Black Series,
it's not. It's not worth it, dude. It's not, especially Black Series now. They seem to be they seem to be clearance exclusives because they go clearance so heavy, and they're always in Ollie's or Ross. Like, if you're paying full price for Black Series in 2022, you got to stop. You got to be stopped. You know?
Yeah.
Do you own any Super 7? I don't.
Yeah, I actually do own a few TMNT Super 7. So I own the 4 basic turtles, and then I just got in the Mouser pack, Krang, and Sewer Samurai Leo, and I'm going to be getting in Sewer Surfing Mikey, and that's pretty much the only ones I have.
You like the quality? Because those look pretty wonky.
And negatives. There's
they
positives
look pretty...
and negatives. So I like the sculpts. I like for what they are, you know, bigger, more updated versions of like the classic figures and everything. Although for the price point and for what they are, they really need to work on the joints. They're very loose. A lot of the joints are very loose.
So they look, and this is going to be my honest opinion, just from, so I found out, I believe they're owned by Disney, or they're owned by like a big toy, they're owned by a big company, but they give off the vibe, like they promote, they go by that, like their underground small toy company. Yeah, and that's, I believe it's a whole trick. Look into it. I'm telling you, maybe you could get a good video out of it, but I feel like it's like fake hype, it's like a Trojan horse toy company, that they're a big toy company pretending to be like a smaller, like more indie, like, so you feel like you're getting higher quality items, but I've never seen anything that looked really high quality from them. They're always digital renders. They always take things away, I noticed, from their render to their toy. And like you said, their articulation looks like maybe 2008 toy articulation. Like, it looks like Disney Store articulation. They don't look like, they're never super articulated. And you said they're loose. They look like that cheap plastic of like a Disney Store. I'm pretty owned. Someone look into it, but I'm pretty sure they're owned by Disney or something like that.
I'll be honest, in hand, the plastic quality is a little better. I think what you're seeing is the shine that they add to the paint. That, I will admit, is a bit annoying. But if you look back at like the old classic Playmate toys, they do have that bit of shine. So I understand that in terms of that.
Those were cheap, though. That's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they look cheap to me. I've never, like, when you buy a Mezco, it looks high end. Anytime I saw a Super 7, it just looked cheap to me. Like, overpriced, cheap. But I never owned one, and I've never even held one in my hand. So I will reserve I'm not going to do a full toy review on it. And I won't be getting any samples after my review right now. So.
No, yeah. I mean, like I said, in hand, they're a little more, they look a little better in hand, I'll admit. Just think of them as literally scaled up versions of the original toys. So
Interesting.
whatever articulation those toys had, these toys have.
Well,
It's just at a larger scale.
that April O'Neil looked horrible, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean, look at the vintage one. It doesn't look. That's the thing about vintage toys. They aren't the best looking because they didn't give a fuck back then. They just wanted to give toys to kids that resembled what they would watch on TV.
When we were growing up, we didn't care what it looked like. So
exactly. So of course, a scaled up version of that figure is not going to look good. You know what I mean? But a turtle, you can make look pretty decent at a scaled up version. It's like, okay, it's a larger version. And with those, I feel are more like display pieces than toy photography pieces. You know, the Super 7, because they're more, like I said, they're just kind of updated vintage toys. And so they're larger, they have the same articulation, but they have a little more detail and stuff, you know, and then they actually painted the weapons versus back then they all came on those weapon trees. They were all one solid color.
All that plastic,
They include that too, but they still give you painted weapons. And I think that's really where the appeal comes from, is the higher end detail.
I'll have to, if I hopefully they make something that catches my eye, but I'll have to get one and do a review of it. People keep hounding me about Storm collectibles because I never held one or owned one, so I can't speak on that either. So I would like to do, like, I would like to get like one of every toy company so I could do like maybe like a big review or something comparing everything. That could be an idea, but.
No, yeah. I mean, my only gripe with Super 7 is that they like to pre-order and solicit waves before they even give you wave 1. Like, they were already solicited, I think, like wave 4 of G.I. Joe, and they haven't even given us a wave 1 G.I. Joe in hand. That's
bad, dude. You know, it only takes, like, for a big company, it takes 4 to 6 months to do everything to make a toy and get it back. So, you know, if these things take any longer, they're just messing around with you guys. They're trying to, you know why? They maybe want to get all your money up front, because when people start getting those in hand, they might not be happy, and the blowback could be bad.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's kind of my idea of it too, because like I said, they're already on wave 4 of solicitations for pre-orders of a line that they haven't even produced a wave 1 of.
That's horrible. That's actually insane.
Yeah, it's like, how can you
how are people so trusting?
Loyalists, man. Going back to that whole thing, you know, if they have one product from one company that they really enjoy, they really love, you know, they just feel a sense of loyalty. And it's just, I feel like that's the issue with today's modern society, is that they want to be loyal to these big corporations because they've been around for so many years. So they must
I don't get
traditional.
That.
You must trust them because they've been around for so long. It's like, no, you kind of have to wonder why they've been around for so long and why all these other ones that have tried to compete with them have been snuffed out.
Like trusting a politician. Like,
literally.
No, they're out to help me. They have my best interest. It's like, I don't know about that, man. But
they don't really give a fuck about you.
No,
you lining their pockets, but you know, you do you vote you know. But yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, man. I really don't get it. You know, that's why I personally waited on the TMNT until they were out there and I saw some reviews on them and I really kind of liked them and stuff. I was like, you know what? I told myself these are going to be fun, great display pieces. I never had any intentions of making them like toy photography things or anything. I bought them for that sole intention. And, you know, it's very rare when I do that in terms of like toys nowadays, because I see them more as tools to use for toy photography and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I kind of just enjoyed the classic vintage representation at a more updated, larger scale with more detail. They include their own classic Super 7 head for the turtles as well. So I thought that was pretty interesting and cool. But
do you have the Casey Jones?
No, I don't.
He looked pretty cool, but I'm not, you know, I didn't even touch my NECA turtles that I have.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, wait till you find a figure that you really enjoy from them and then give them a try. But I'd wait till it's released, because a lot of the time you pay $55 from them or from Big Bag Toy Store or Entertainment Earth, you know, initially, and then you'll find that they actually go, once they release, and drop in price. Like they recently had some of the turtles for like $30.
Oh, I saw. Yeah, no, the Splinter was like $20.
Yeah, Shredder was $30 like a week ago.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, dude. That's why if you could wait, just wait. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing too, is like, I don't want to get too stuck up. This is for people, you know, I don't want to ever get too serious. Toys are for fun. A lot of people don't take it that serious. But when you notice things, my whole thing is like, I don't like getting taken advantage of. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But some people don't mind
Exactly.
it. Some people don't mind it. So it's like you're kind of like you're arguing against a wall for no
Yeah.
like you're just wasting your time.
No, yeah, definitely, man. You know, like me and this whole NECA Auto T stuff, you know, I got plenty of messages saying, oh, you got to be careful. Don't say that about NECA. You know, NECA's going to see this and blah, blah. It's like, good. I
They
want
don't
NECA to
send
see
out
this.
stuff anyway, so you're good.
Yeah. Yeah. And they only do interviews with people that kiss their ass. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to do that. I didn't get into this to be a kiss ass to anybody. You know, I pay for all my stuff besides two packages from two separate companies that aren't even included in this, Diamond Select and Loyal Subjects. I've
Yeah,
never received any.
congratulations on Diamond Select, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, they actually care about their fans. They listen to their fans. Same thing with Loyal Subjects. So they're on the right track.
Diamond Select was the first company that took a chance on my YouTube channel a long time ago. So I'm always look. I got my. This is a really good figure.
Yeah.
Diamond Select. The thing about them is, and I said this on another show, and people agreed. It's funny. They are either a super hit or a super miss. I don't feel like they're ever in the middle. It's like this figure, and then they'll have the Miles Morales Spider-Man figure, and it's like this is the same company. You know what I mean? Like this figure is beautiful. It came with multiple weapons, hands. I think it's the most accurate looking in this scale Stormtrooper. Like it looks like there's actually a guy under there. You know what I mean? Especially compared to the Black Series. So this is one of my on my desk. I have my go-to figures, and then shout out to Valiverse. You know Valiverse?
Yeah, I just saw your review on his whole thing.
I couldn't put this figure down. And this is their cheapest figure. You could get this for like $20. It's like their army builder. Yeah. And it comes with different heads, really cool weapons. Like I love the silencer weapon things. So I've just been posing this guy as well. And shout out, he's a Jersey guy. People always said in my channel, like, Valiverse. I'm not like an army guy. I don't really know about that stuff, but I got a really nice email from him, and he sent me out a package, and their figures are great, man. It's like Hasbro quality. My review was, these figures feel like Hasbro if they cared.
No, yeah, man. That's the thing. It's like I feel like a lot of people nowadays are taking matters into their own hands, much like you, and creating their own lines in what they want to see. You know, like you said at the beginning of this interview, it's like people would just like to bitch and complain. They don't want to actually do anything about it, and that's like the case for anything and everything in this day and age. You know, and more so with these toys. But then there are great guys like you and Valiverse that are taking matters into their own hands and saying, you know what, I'm going to produce a product that I want, that I would be happy to buy and spend my money on. And that makes it so much better for the people that actually do spend their money on it, because if the creators themselves are willing to spend that money and put that money and investment into their own product, then they themselves are going to be that much more willing to do that.
Dude, if you saw how much I spent today on my, for the future of my buying, sourcing stuff from all over, I don't even want to think about how much I spent today. So, these sculpt bots are going to sell out. It's going to be great. But I really made a big investment today. And people are going to see it. There's going to, this room is changing also. So you noticed I used to have 2 Detolfs behind. I had 4 back here.
Yeah.
Those are gone because I don't care about the toys that are in them. And this room is actually getting turned into like a real office. So we're going to have like System Island stuff up on the walls. And there's something really big coming. So, I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in the brand. 9 months and we're only getting bigger. The stuff is selling out quicker. So I listen, that shows me people care. People want more, and I'm slowly rolling things out, and you guys don't even know what I have planned for next year. So I have some cool stuff planned next year, but I'm thinking of tonight. We're going to sell out those sculpt bots, and it's going to be great. But yeah, if you could complain and nothing will change, because Hasbro will never care. It's always about, if it's a corporation, it's about profits only. That's what they care about. But if you start supporting people that are doing things, like I'd rather buy some guy's 3D printed like thing on Instagram than go buy a toy at this rate. You know what I mean? Like I got, hold on, let me give a shout out to some people. Shadow Moses, he's a 3D printer, really cool. I got this Pokédex from him.
Oh, it's dope.
I got to paint it up and stuff, but it's like he even knows how to do it. Like the flap opens up. Look at that.
Oh shit, that's dope.
This thing is tiny. So it's like I got 3D printed stuff all over my desk from just supporting other creators. That's where I'm at right now. So
No, yeah, man. I mean, I think that's the best thing to do, you know, is to support the smaller people that are trying to combat all this other stuff that's coming from these corporations that aren't listening to their fans, that aren't giving us what we want and stuff. It's like, why not support people that are giving you what you want? And not only that, but someone that's like you know, somebody that has a passion for this hobby. You know, like I said, that's the other thing with these big corporations. It's like, nobody has a passion for this hobby in those corporations.
Well,
even when you watch those Hasbro live
I
streams,
was
Patrick
just
and all
gonna
them,
bring
like,
up,
they mispronounce characters. They don't give a shit.
dude, when you see those people talk, it's like it's pulling teeth. I'm like, oh my god, not one of these people care about this stuff here.
Like, you can't hire a fan. Like, you can't hire a fan for the live stream.
There's so many YouTubers that they could have just hired to just be a guest person and pose the figures, but they don't care. That's nothing. That's a write-off for the corporation. It's just they don't think about it and they don't care. And they don't have to do it because everyone still eats it up. But like, you know, when people ask me about my figures, I could passionately speak about them. You know what I mean? And that's something that, like, if you can't passionately speak about something, you really probably shouldn't be talking about it.
No, yeah, man, definitely. And I think that's also what attracts the people to your brand and everything, is that excitement that you have in your voice when you talk. I mean, you're already talking about what you have planned for next year and how we should be excited about that. And it's like, well, if you're excited about that, then definitely your fan base is going to get excited about that, you know? And so that's what you want. You want that energy, you want that passion, you want that drive. And that connects with people because that shows them that you're just as excited about this thing as they are.
Oh,
and they don't want to buy products from somebody that's just like, okay, here's another ship product. Here's another ship product with the Spider-Man face that's half painted on. Like,
and the thing is too, it's like a lot of people put stuff out and they just think that they think that they're owed people's attention, they're owed people's money, they're owed people's eyeballs, and it's like, no, I kick my ass every day to make sure I'm telling people in every video now, in every toy review, if you notice, I have my Goose Faba there, and I mention him in the beginning and at the end of every video. I have my shirts on all the time. You know, I care about this. I got fucking Goose Faba tatted on the leg, dude. This is real life. You know, Goose Faba has been with me since I was 13 years old. I've been writing this on people's property. Sorry. You know, now that I'm older and I own property, I'm sorry. But
hey, you were doing marketing for yourself in the future. Let's call it that.
That's marketing. Future marketing. There's still some pieces out there. I think I'm gonna do a video where I'm gonna go try to look on my old stomping grounds and see if there's any Goose Fabas that are still up places. Hopefully, but it's so, dude. I've never been so passionate about something. You know, being an artist and being a toy collector. Can you tell me? Can you tell me something better than your own action figure?
No.
Right? An artist, right, with the character. You know, this guy's been with me. And then a toy collector. And put them together. It's like Reese's Pieces. Chocolate and peanut butter. It gets even better. So I could talk about my guys all day long. I have a Bible with all their bios. Like, they're real life people to me. You know, they have personalities, and I can't wait till I got my animations in there. I get comics out there. I want people to know about them more. And I know once, like, people could get a sense of who the characters are, because it's more than a toy. You know, a lot of people put out custom toys and make a head sculpt or something and throw it out there, and that's cool. But it's like, who is it? Why do I care? Why should I care about that? And you're not just buying a toy or a head sculpt or you're buying a character. You know, when I put something out, it's an actual idea. It's a character. It has it has a story. It has a world. And I think that's something that's important too, to something. I don't know, but I'm excited, dude. I'm excited. Did I show you? Did I show you one of my grails? Being I don't know if you do trading cards. I've never heard you talk about trading cards.
Nah, not really.
I
Oh,
have 4 of my own trading cards, literally a page. Dude, this is something that's like, like the figure was like a checklist, but like
mhm,
that I started my own numbered like trading card set. Like that's
mhm.
pretty wild to me. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. The fact that you started your own toy line is wild as hell, just from the fact that it came from a graffiti art to now a physical, tangible figure that now has multiple waves, multiple characters. You even have like an anti-hero villain that you don't
Yeah.
really know yet. I think that's what's great about your figures is that they have an open story. They have somewhat of a story, but they're also open to interpretation through your
Dude,
fans.
I'm glad you said that. So, something that what I loved about like American comics, right? So if you read manga, manga
Mhm,
has like a story, and it's pretty like it's just that story, right? But the thing about American comics is like Batman, you could create a story because you know the lore and you know the world in your head, but there's still kind of stories about Batman. But
mhm,
you could do like Joker and Batman teaming up and they have to fight Clayface or something, like, and it'll make sense. So in
mhm,
my world, I do have, like, if I ever make the comic one day, I have like a story, right? But they're also just graffiti punks in this cyberpunk world. So seeing people on Instagram create their own dioramas and create their own worlds, and even I've seen people create their own characters in that. So it's like there's that like pre-story where it's just Goose Faba and Fat Cap Joe and their tagging and just antics. But then when Goose Faba gets tangled up with Sculpt Corp, and then I have that storyline. So there's just like it's an open world, but there's also a story. So it's like you could create your own stories in that world. And I have the Bible, so I have like a map and everything. And slowly, I don't want to do like the first year. My goal was, I said, I'm going to hammer Goose Faba into people's heads before I just
mhm.
start throwing everything out there. So I'm telling people about System Island, the world. I'm telling people about Fat Cap Joe, his rival. Shadow Goose is his like basically his freaking villain, but like his yin yang villain, like the opposite Goose Faba.
Yeah.
All pretty simple concepts. Then once people are invested in that and they understand that, then we could go to because I created System Island back in 2012. And if you look around, I have websites where I have like mini comics up there, and there's world building and characters that people know about because I maybe tease them here and there on my live streams, but there are people that people don't even know about yet coming out like
Mhm.
that. I've already sat with 10 years. You know what I mean? Like Johnny
Yeah.
Boom Bots. He is going to be I've already heard people what they want, and I'm just like, people are gonna really like Johnny Boom Bots, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna go too much more into that. But like, what if people love playing with characters that are basically just have guns and they're killing people, right?
Mhm.
Well, Johnny Boom Bots is that guy. So I'm really excited about that. People are gonna love him, and I know I'm gonna freaking love him too. So that's a big thing right here. You got a little teaser on this show. So anyone who's watching right now, you got that inside right there.
A Rocco the Great exclusive drop right there coming soon next year.
Exclusive.
Well, I appreciate you dropping that exclusive news here on the channel, man. I know you're gonna go and take a little break right now
Yeah.
before you prepare for your drop live stream.
Because I
So
know
I
me
want
and you
to.
could go for 9 hours. So I
Oh
gotta
yeah,
I gotta give that high energy. And yeah, I'm gonna go like probably take a nap.
sounds good, man. Well, I don't want to cut into your nap time because I know you're gonna need that energy to sell that Sculpt bot in 30 seconds or less. Better than Domino's Pizza.
8 o'clock tonight,
So
guys.
So everybody head over to Rocco the Great's YouTube channel at 8 o'clock to see his live stream and his drop at 8:30 for the Halloween Sculpt box, limited to 9, correct?
There's 9, yeah. Originally
Okay.
there was 8, and I realized I had an extra one, and it's pretty funny because the extra one now is the chase figure. So
Oh,
yeah,
so 9 available with 1
9
chase.
available, 1
And
chase.
at
Yeah, so 8 and then 1 chase, so 9 total. But very exciting. I'm these are gonna be really cool, man. I would keep these in the bag. People were saying they wanted more like collectible in-bag stuff. So if you like designer toys and you like art toys, this is your like, boom, best of both worlds right here.
All right.
Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do also have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys like unboxings, check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all of my unboxings. And check me out every Sunday for Coffee and Toys, a weekly Toy News Toy Talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, weekly toy haul, and so much more. And join me every Wednesday over on Instagram for Coffee and Toys Live, where I will speak to a new guest every week about toys, toy hunting, toy photography, and so much more. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it.